Karen here from the Stitch Sessions, and I've got a super cute, super fast project for you today. It's the last week of summer. I know probably most of you are not really going to be looking at doing any crocheting because you're going to be out there enjoying the last week before the kids go back to school. It just seems like that last week of summer is always kind of the same feeling. It's the beginning of an end, but it's also the beginning of a new season. But in any case, I thought with the theme of going back to school that we would do this quick little project, and it is a bookmark. This actually was a solution to a problem. So just recently I spent a week at the beach with my goddaughter, and she is really into reading. This kid is reading everywhere. So we're on the beach, and she kept forgetting, every time she would go in the water and come back, she kept forgetting where she was in her book. And I asked her, well, don't you have a bookmark? And she said no. And I happened to be working on a crochet project at the beach, and I always carry extra yarn because she's always asking me to teach her. So I always want to encourage her to pick up the craft. She is starting to get the hang of doing chain stitches and slip knots. So we're working on it. So I happen to have some cotton yarn, and I said, well, I've got the solution. I'm going to make you a bookmark. And she was just super excited about it and very much over the moon. And I definitely know that she's going to be practicing how to make this bookmark. But I whipped it up really quickly for her, and then she was able to place it in her book. So when she closed her book, then she didn't have to kind of go rummaging through which chapter that she had left off in. For us, I know it's a no-brainer, but kids don't always think of these things. So I was really happy to do this for her. And then I thought, hey, this might be a really wonderful project if you are a brand new crocheter or if you know someone that is, and you want to have a little bit more practice, but you also want to create something. So this is super easy. It's 3 rows, even though you actually come around and work in the round. And all it is you create a chain and then you work slip stitches into it. This project is fantastic for practicing your gauge and really getting comfortable doing chains and slip stitches. So you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose. So nice and simple. And then at the very end, we just place this little tassel here, and this is awesome for getting rid of a lot of scrap yarn. So maybe if you know anybody that works in a classroom or works in a library, maybe you can make a whole slew of these and give these as a gift. That might be really sweet. Or if you have a whole classroom of kids, maybe you can make one for each child, and then when they arrive, they have a fun little bookmark. So I hope you like it. It's not going to take you much time at all. So let's just get to it and dive in. Okay, so for this quick little project, you can just use any scrap yarn you have lying around. I happen to have some of this cotton. I think it was like that handicrafter cotton. It's just had a little bit left. And I have this teeny tiny little bit left in this coral color, which I think I'm going to use to make a little tassel. So hopefully I'll achieve my goal of using up all my yarn. I definitely won't use this whole ball for the bookmark, but I'll be on my way to getting through my stash. It is a medium 4 weight, but I'm going to just use a slightly larger hook. I'm going to use a 5.5 millimeter hook, which is also known as an I or a size 9. And that's just to kind of let these stitches sit a little bit more loosely. And I feel like that'll help them sit a lot flatter when you use it as a bookmark. And anytime you're working on a project, make sure that you have a yarn needle to weave in your ends at the end, and of course, a handy pair of scissors to snip your yarn. So once you've got all your materials together, we'll get ready to stitch up our little bookmarker. Okay, so we're going to begin by placing a slip knot onto our hook. Actually, I'm going to make that a little bit longer. And you want to start off by chaining the length of bookmark that you wish to have. So I am going to chain up a total of 31. So I'm going to chain 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, and 31. So I have a chain that looks like this, and actually I'll just measure it. So it's just about 8.5 inches or 21.5 centimeters. So I'm pretty happy with that length. So now let's just create the width of our bookmark. So for this project, the only thing we're going to use are slip stitches, nice and easy. So what I want to do is I'm just going to skip this first chain, and into the second chain, I'm just going to insert my hook and I'm going to slip stitch into that stitch, just like that, okay? And then I'm going to do that into every single stitch all the way to the end. So you see, you don't want them to be super tight, right? Because you got to keep working into them. So you want to make sure that you keep it somewhat relaxed. And that's also why I went for a slightly larger hook to give us that nice relaxed look. So you can see you have something that's looking like that. So go ahead and do that all the way to the end, and you should then have 30 stitches in total. Okay, so I've come up to the end of my row and I have 30 stitches. So you can see the slip stitch is quite a shallow stitch. So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to work our way around and then come around to work along these bottom loops here of our original chain. So it might be a little tricky to kind of know where you are, but we basically have been working into that top loop, and now we're going to be working into the bottom loop. But when we turn our work, it's going to be the top loop, okay? So what we want to do here is we just want to chain one. I'm just going to pull that tail aside. And then I'm going to go on to, I'm just going to curve around the bottom here, and then into that first loop, I'm going to slip stitch. So this is all done using slip stitches. Nice and easy. So in this first kind of round where we're coming around here, it can be a little tricky to see. So just make sure that these V's closest to you are the ones that you just did from the other side. So now we're just working into these little top loops here, which are the other loops of your original chain. And I'm just coming up to the last chain here. Now this is going to be a little tricky to see because this is where we turned. So I'm just going to try my best to find that first loop at the top here. And there we go. Okay, so now you have something that looks like this. So we just finished working this side, and we had previously worked that side. So we're almost done. So this is very, very quick. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And this is going to create a little loop so that we can put our tassel through. So once you've chained 3, you then are going to go and find your next slip stitch, which is right here, and I'm just going to continue to slip stitch around again. So I just insert and pull through just like that. So you can see it's created a little loop there. And now I'm just going to continue down the way here, and I'm going to keep slip stitching. So you're always just picking up the loop that's furthest away from you into each and every single stitch. Okay, so I've just made it down to the other end here, and this is where I'm going to end off. So you can see it's not super wide. Let me just take a quick little measurement here. So it is about 3/4 of an inch, which I think is fine. I mean, you could make it wider if you want, but I think this just does the trick. So we've got a little loop here at the end. So I'm just going to snip my yarn right there. And then I'm just going to pull this through just like that. And I'm going to pull it tight so it blends beautifully in there. So it creates that nice little rounded edge. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to weave in these ends here. And we're pretty much done. See, it's a very, very super quick project. So I just want to make sure that I hide this little tail. So I'm just going to kind of insert my needle, and I'm just going to go maybe back and forth between these loops here. Okay, you don't want to pull it too tight because you don't want to mess up with the integrity of the shape at the end here. There we go. Nice, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna finish weaving this end in, and then we're gonna talk about adding that great little tassel at the other end. Okay, so I have woven in my ends. So it looks like this on the back, and this is the front, and there's my little loop. So all we've got to do now is create our little tassel. So hopefully this will be enough. I think it will, but it just depends on how, you know, thick you want your tassel to be. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn, you're going to wrap it around 3. You could do 4 fingers. I'm going to go for 3 and we'll see what happens. And you just keep wrapping, and you want to do maybe, I don't know, I don't even know how many I'm doing. I'm just going to the end of my yarn here. So you might want to wrap it 10 times or something like that. So I'm just going to take that out, and where I have my ends, I'm going to try to have them both perfect. They're both on kind of the same side there. So what I want to do is now have this end, and I want to be able to pull it through this little loop here. So now the trick is remembering which way I should do it. If I should go in through the bottom or the top. Okay, I still don't know, but we're going to do it this way. So I'm going to insert my hook into the loop I have here at the end, and I'm going to use that hook to help me pull this through, because I want this all pulled through exactly in its position. Perfect. So you've got something that looks like that. Now I just want to pull it up a little bit more so that I can now feed this through, but let's see. Oh, that's how I need to do it. Okay, so actually, so I've got that, and I've got this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this side here, and I'm going to tuck it down in between the bottom end here. I think that's going to be the best way to work. So I'm going to tuck it down. And hopefully this is going to work. And then pull on it so you can see. Yeah, there we go. So that actually defeated the purpose of me having those ends down at that other end. But that is the look I'm going for. I want that knot right there to be going across there, which is perfect. So it kind of hides that little loop. And we've got these guys sitting here, which is perfecto. And now's the time when you want to do it nice and tight. Good. Okay, I'm really happy with that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip the ends here and give my tassel a little haircut. Like that. And like that. And there you have your tassel. And then of course, if you want to just trim it so that it looks a little bit more uniform, there you have it. And there you go. Your bookmark is complete. Is that not sweet? Oh, I have a little end here. Let me snip that off. But it's really super, super simple. It's a great project, actually, if you've got a very new crocheter in the household. This would be a great way to practice your chains, practice doing slip stitches, because it's a great way to work on your gauge, right? And you can create something cute and useful. So I hope you liked it. I hope you found it really fun and a little something that maybe you can use up all of your scrap yarn to work on. So now, just in case you do have any questions about this, just as always, leave it for me in the description box down below. In fact, I'd love it if you guys would share what colors you would make your bookmarks. Maybe you're going to do a variegated yarn. That would be really pretty too. And if maybe you might do your bookmark a little wider. Let me know what you think. Everybody's got a little different take on it. And I know that in our crochet community. Everybody's always looking for suggestions and inspiration. So please do share that in the comment box down below. Now, as always, if you have any deep questions, which I don't think you're going to have on this one, but you can always email me directly at info@crochetcrafty.com, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions you may have. And as always, I advise you to attach a photo of your work, whether it's this project or any project, and that way I can have a better understanding of the question that you're asking. And make sure to check out the website, crochetcrafty.com. A lot of fabulous resource tools there for you, sizing charts, project planning lists, and free written patterns, as well as a link to my Etsy shop. And the Etsy shop is Crochet Crafty Canada. So I hope you'll check that out and come say hi to me. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at The Stitch Sessions. So make sure to tag me when you've completed your bookmark. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Quick and sweet. Next week will be the first week in September. So you know what that means. It's a brand new hat project in our Hats All Folks crochet series. So look out for that. It's going to be another fun one for you. But in the meantime, enjoy this last week of August and the last week of summer before everybody goes back to school. So have a great day, everyone. Happy crocheting. Take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in next week's session. Bye-bye.